This is the segment I want to do on the Star a Day call. The story behind this call is Danny had made one of these. And I'm pretty sure he posted it on the forum. And kind of molded my mind for a long time. And seen him at the convention one year. And I asked him, I said, Danny, I says, you gonna make any more of them callers? And he says, don't hold your breath, Dave. He says, Bill Hinkle asked me the same thing. He says, and I told him the same thing. So many years had passed by and I figured, well, I'm never gonna have one of these jewels. And he calls me up, he says, Dave, he says, I decided I'm gonna make 3 more of these callers. And he had already made 2. And he was making one for Bill, and one for me, and one for himself. So he asked me what wood combinations I wanted, and I told him I wanted African blackwood and African pink ivory. And of course, the ivory mouthpiece, they all came with that. And he says, well, I've already made one like that. He says, that was, I think it was either the first or second one he had made. And I says, well, that's why I wanted one, because this wood combination is so incredible. So it's lucky I got one. This is number 4 of number 5. And then he calls me up a year or 2 later, and he says, Dave, he says, I'm going to be featured in a magazine article. And he says, they want to put some of my calls in there. He says, I sent him a picture of one of your calls, and they selected it. And he says, I have to ask your permission. And I says, oh, absolutely, Danny. I says, it's an honor for me. And it's the American Woodturner magazine. It's really, really a cool magazine. And she sent me the magazine after it had come out and been published with a letter, this letter. And it says, April 24th, 2014, Dave. Enclosed is the April edition of the American Woodturner, the Journal of the American Association of Woodturners. Betty Scarpino, the editor of the magazine, asked me to write an article giving instructions and steps to turning a trumpet yelper. She had seen photos of several of my decorative calls on Woodturners forum on the internet. She also asked that I include photographs of some of my hunting and decorative trumpet yelpers to be used in the article as a kind of gallery. One of your calls, Dave, is included in the article, and I want to thank you for allowing your name to be shown in the article as the owner of the call. And like I say, it's I am so pleased that he did this. Anyway, as you browse through the magazine, you'll see that it is customary that the owner of the artwork that has been purchased is recognized. Just a note, Betty and her staff chose the location of the photos of the calls within the article. So he had nothing to do with whose calls got put where. Then he goes on to say, this issue is packed with excellent articles and galleries of woodturned art. I hope you enjoy browsing through the rest of the magazine. I've told many woodturners that they would be amazed at the talented artists in the world of custom game calls. Now you can get a glimpse of the talented wood-burning artists outside the game call world. Thank you, Danny. And then he writes, by the way, the magazine is distributed to members internationally. So your call will be seen from New Zealand and Australia to France. It's pretty cool. So here is the article of the call. With the call, I was fortunate that my call got on the feature page, which is really cool. And then he goes through, selecting the wood, drilling the barrel, turning the barrel, hollowing the bell, turning the barrel part 2, mouthpiece design, drilling the mouthpiece, turning the mouthpiece. And of course he has a lot of photos in there in the lathe showing his processes. And then it finishes with cutting the ferrule, assembly, turning the lip stop, and learning how to play the collar. And then he has pictures in there turning the lip stop and how to hold the caller, and then there's a gallery of other callers in there that are marvelous, beautiful. We'll do this one on the Aristocrat. This is Bill Jones's call in here. Excuse me, Bill Hinkle. And like I say, that's another article in itself. But that is the history on Star of Dan #4. And I am going to post some still pictures that will really show the intricate detail of this call. So enjoy.